KCM partner Elizabeth Charity lives in Virginia, where she fills her days with ministry through the youth outreach and job training program that she directs, a teen-oriented television show, and personal ministry and counseling with kids doing time in juvenile detention. Liz is the mother of 2 grown sons who left the corporate world to begin her work with young people. As the founder of a nonprofit program that had been endorsed by the governor of her state, and as a single mom, Liz needed a helpmate.
That was back then, 1995. That was the time, too, that God brought another man into my life, a husband at that time, and he helped me with the ministry. And it's like he took it on as his own, and he claimed my 2 sons as his, and he was a good father, a good husband, and he was a godly man. But before he came to be a godly man, a Christian, he had, he was out there in the world. During that time, he was infected with the virus, and I didn't know it, and he didn't know it at the time we got married. And it was like on my 3rd year, on our 3rd year anniversary, when I found out that I was infected with the virus. By that time, he had already been showing signs that he had been infected. He had lost weight. He was getting very tired. And that was signs. I went and got examined, and that's when they told me, that I had the HIV virus.
How did you take that news, Liz?
Oh, at first it was, there was some anger there. I was sort of angry with him, And one of the things that God told me, said, you have to forgive him. He said, in order for you to receive your healing, you have to forgive. So I forgave, because like I said, hey, those were sins that he did, and we all were sinners at one time.
You decided to attack this disease scripturally. Mm-hmm. How did you prepare yourself? How did you arm yourself for this battle?
I used to listen to Kenneth Copeland and Copeland Ministries all the time, and they had what you call a healing school. And they had a healing tape. I got that healing tape, and I used to play that healing tape every night over Oliver. And that's what, I would speak those scriptures, and I said, red blood cells, white blood cells, you multiply, but all other diseases, you got to die. And I just continued to speak that, and I said, Jesus is a healer. We are more than conquerors, and by Jesus Christ, we are healed. And I just continued to confess those. And I said, Jesus healed all diseases, and he's going to heal this one too. Though Liz continued to stand on the word and to believe for the healing of her husband, Oliver's symptoms continued to ravage his body. And in 2000, Liz decided that it was time to release Oliver to be with the Lord. As she dealt with the death of her husband, Liz Charity knew that she was still in the battle for her own life. I was taken to the hospital, and I found out that the virus in my body was like overtaking my body. And when they told me that I had infection in the brain, which my husband had died with, my oldest son was there, and he heard what they said, and we always was a praying family. He reached his hand out, laid his hand on my head and said, Lord, I'm not ready for my mama to go yet. I thank you for healing her.
You end up in the hospital, an emergency situation. You got an infection in your brain. You've got fever. This was serious. It was serious. It killed your husband. Mm-hmm. And then basically the doctors asked you to undergo a blood transfusion. Mm-hmm. And you prayed about it, and God gave you confirmation. Mm-hmm. So you took this blood transfusion, mm-hmm. and what happened? After that, my immune system began to gradually, as said, improve. And I was put on medicine. I began to take the medicine. I began to follow the doctor's orders. 2004, at that time, my immune system was like a 6. The doctor said I was clinically dead.
The only thing that really kept me going was really me praising the Lord, speaking those scriptures over it, and taking the medicine. By 2005, my immune system went from a 6 all the way up to 500, and undetectable. They couldn't find no sign of the virus in my body at all.
2003, you're near death in the hospital. In 2005, there's no trace of the AIDS virus, not detectable in your body. How do you explain that? How does that happen?
God, Jesus is a healer.
Today, you sit here before me. How are you today? Do you have any symptoms?
No, energy. For me, it's just, my life just beginning. Hey, it's a good time to live. It's a good time to be alive.